Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine and are taking care of yourselves. My name is Kanika Tandon and I am here with a video of Class 6 English Grammar. In our last video we have completed till chapter number 12 and today we are going to start our new chapter, which is chapter number 13, Active and Passive Voice. Starting our today's video and our new chapter, which is chapter number 13, Active and Passive Voice. So in active and passive voice, we actually try to understand that who has done the action, how an action in a sentence is done. The way we write a sentence, the way it tells us that the sentence or an action is done is actually called voice. In some of the sentence, the action is done by the subject. Alright, but in some sentences the action is actually done by the object. Means something that is happening is done by the subject, or something that is happening is done to the subject. This is the main two voices, which is active voice and passive voice. Now, the form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence does an action or has an action done to it is called the voice. It has two types, right? Active voice and passive voice. So the sentence in active voice is Mithilesh drinks tea every morning. So what is the subject in this sentence? Mithilesh. What does it do in the what is he doing in the subject? He is drinking tea he drinks tea every morning. So the action what is the action here? Drinks. Who has done it? The subject, which is Mithilesh, right? So in this sentence the action is done by the subject. But in passive voice, tea is drunk by Mithilesh every morning. In this sentence, Mithilesh is not doing any action. The action is done to Mithilesh, which is tea is drunk by Mithilesh. In this sentence also, Mithilesh is the only person who is drinking, but it is not shown this way, right? So but there is one thing that you have to keep in mind, that both the sentence have exact same meaning. Now active voice is a verb is in the active voice when it shows that the person or a thing denoted by the subject does something or is the doer of an action. In active voice, the subject is the doer of the action. Whatever is happening in the sentence is done by the subject. Like cats catch mice, children love animals. So who catch mice? Cat. So who is doing the action here? Cat. Similarly in the second sentence. But in passive voice, a verb is in the passive voice when it shows that something is done to a person or a thing denoted by the subject. In passive voice we see that something is done to the subject. The subject is the action. In both the sentences the action is happening to the subject only. But in the first sentence the subject is doing the action. In second sentence the action is done to the subject. Like mice are caught by the cats. So in passive voice, in active voice, whatever the subject is, in passive voice it does not remain the subject. Like Mithilesh is the subject in active voice, but in passive voice Mithilesh is not the action. I mean it's not the subject. So in active voice, whatever the subject is, in passive voice it becomes the object, and in active voice whatever the object is, it becomes the subject. Now there are some important rules for changing active into passive. The object of the verb in the active voice becomes the subject of the verb in the passive voice. This is the rule that I have just said. Put the suitable auxiliary verbs. So we have to be very careful while we put the auxiliary verbs. I have already told you what auxiliary verbs are. In normal language we call them helping verbs. Is, are, am, can, could, should, they, these. Change the verb into past participle of the verb. In this the action whenever we change any sentence from active to passive voice, we change the verb into the third form of its, right, which is the past participle form. The preposition by is generally used before the doer of an action. Before doer of an action, we always use by. Change a subject into object. This rule I have already told you, that in active voice, whatever the subject is, in passive voice it becomes the object, and whatever the object is in the active voice, it becomes the subject in the passive voice. While changing the voice of a sentence, the tense remains the same. If the sentence is happening in the present tense, the passive voice will also happen in the present tense. If the action is happening in the past tense, it will be written in past tense. Similarly in future and in future. There is no change in the articles. Articles will not be changed. If there is we have used a before any object, a will be used in the subject also. If the will be used, and will be used. You will understand all of these when we will do the exercise. The type of a sentence remains the same. The sentence meaning and the type will remain the same. The passive voice is formed with the suitable tense of the verb be followed by the participle. Study this table. So on the next page we have a table which is in present simple tense. We use give, gives. Then in passive voice it becomes am given, is given, or are given. According to the subject, we have to change the auxiliary verbs. In present continuous, am giving, is giving, are giving becomes am being given, is being given, are being given. Present perfect, has given, has been given. In passive voice, have given, have been given. Past simple, gave, was given, or were given according to the subject. Past continuous, was giving, were giving, which becomes was being given, were being given. Past perfect, had given, had been given. Future simple, will give, will be given, shall be given. Future continuous will be the same. If we are writing any sentence in the future continuous, it becomes this. It will remain the same. Future perfect, will have given, will have been given, shall have been given. Come on to the next page, which is these are some examples that you can read by yourself and understand. Then usage of active and passive voice. The active voice is used to express our day-to-day activities and to emphasize the subject doing the action. Like I completed my maths exercise, we ate our lunch during recess. But passive voice is used to make an object more important. It is also used when we do not know the active subject. Coming on to the exercise. Exercise number 1 is change the following sentences into passive voice. So we have to change the sentences into passive voice. Here what we have to do, we have to make the object the subject. First question is, we admire the brave. So the brave is admired by us. I know your friend. Your friend is known by me. He is plucking the flowers. The flowers are being plucked by him. Mohan writes poems. Poems are being written by Mohan. She reads funny stories. Funny stories are read by her. Here we will not use being. Ask why? Because being is used when the sentence is in continuous form. In this, the sentence is not in continuous form, so we will not use being here. She reads funny stories. Funny stories are read by her. The mongoose killed the snake. Snake was killed by the mongoose. A boy made a kite. A kite was made by the boy. We did not read the notice. The notice was not read by us. Coming on to the next one. They completed the construction in time. So the construction was completed on time by them, or you can also write the construction was completed by them on time. They are building a new mall. A new mall was being built by them. She is stitching the dress. The dress is being stitched by her. My aunt is visiting us. We are being visited by our aunt. They were making fishing nets. Fishing nets were being made by them. Shivani was solving the sums. The sums were being solved by Shivani. She had made a promise. A promise was made by her. We had repaired the chair. The chair was repaired by us. We had learnt a new song. A new song was learnt by us. Sheba will prepare tea. Tea will be prepared by Sheba. We will solve all the problems. The problems will be solved by us. I shall help that needy person. That needy person shall be helped by me. Now second is change the following sentences into active voice. Now we have what we have to do. We have to make the object the subject. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan was the slogan given by Shastri ji. So Shastri ji gave the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. A lovely song had been sung by my sister. So my sister sang a lovely song. The city was destroyed by an earthquake. An earthquake destroyed the city. Next is the car was driven by my mother. So my mother drove the car. The criminal was punished by the jury. The jury punished the criminal. Next is the learner's drills. Follow the instructions and form active and passive sentences for given verbs. So here what we have to do, here they have given two pictures. Between the two pictures we have one verb. According to the instructions that they have given, like present simple tense, we have to construct our own sentence. First one is already done for you. We have to write the sentence in present simple tense. Here the boy or a man is cooking the food. So a man cooks dinner. The dinner is cooked by a man. Next is in the past simple tense, but we have to write the students and this homework. So they do the homework, right? So the students did the homework. Since we have to write in past simple tense, we will use did here, not do. The homework was done by the students. Next is future simple tense. We have to write the sentence in future tense. So carry. So I shall carry the suitcase. The suitcase shall be carried by me. Next is present perfect tense. So the mason has built the house. The house has been built by the mason. Past simple tense, the boy cut the tree. Since the verb cut has all the three forms same. The normal form of the verb, the normal form of the word cut is cut. The past form of the past form of this word is cut, and the past participle is also cut. So cut goes like cut, cut, cut. So the boy cut the tree. The tree was cut by the boy. Next is the last one, future perfect tense. Teach. So the teacher will have taught the students. The students will have been taught by the teacher. With this, the exercise and the chapter is over. I hope you all have understood it. I'll see you all in my next video with the next chapter. That is chapter number 14, the adverb. And I request everyone to please complete your work till here. And let's meet in the next video. Till then, take care and keep studying.